Hello everybody, it's Josh from Lucas Lighting, and today we're going to talk about daytime running lights, or series and parallel circuits. They kind of go hand in hand, so let's get into it. Okay, there's a couple of different kinds of daytime running light circuits, so I'm going to start first with a series daytime running light circuit, and this, you're typically just going to see this in a car that has dedicated daytime running light bulbs. Some of like the 2010-ish Toyota Highlanders, for instance, is a good example of that. So they have a separate bulb for high, low, daytime running lights, and fogs, if that's the case. So the advantage of this is because it's cheap. It's a cheap way to get a bulb to have a lower intensity because you're just wiring something different. You're not using integrated circuits or anything like that. So let me give you a demonstration of that. So if you look at these bulbs right here, I've got power going into this bulb, and then the ground of this bulb is going into the power of the next bulb, and then that's going to go back to ground. Okay, so I'm going to output that. You can see that the lights appear kind of dim. You're going to look at my multimeter screen right here. Okay, so the total circuit voltage is still 12 volts, right? But the voltage on this light is only 6, and the voltage on this light is only 6. Okay, so in a series kind of situation like that, these are going to split the voltage. So very easy to get the voltage down to 6 volts, okay? How do we deal with that with LED bulbs? You've got one option. The only option that you have is going to be an M2 bulb in that situation, in that configuration. These guys are the only bulbs that we make that will go down to 6 volts, okay? Okay guys, just to show you that this works, we've got positive going into one of these M2 bulbs and then negative to the other feed of the M2 and then ground. So we're going to output that, and you can see that it's a nice soft white. This is very nice in a daytime running light housing. So I do get the question sometimes, if it's a dedicated daytime running light circuit, why can't I just cut this wire and then run positive down and negative down? That way I can get 12 volts to each light, and I can put any bulb I want in there. We don't recommend that because you're modifying the vehicle wiring, which is something you don't want to do unless it's a needed basis. And the other reason is you know, if you put an L2 or like L3, L4, something brighter in there, you're going to be blinding people with that 12 volt output. Even if you put L2s, M2s in there at a 12 volt output, it's going to be too bright for a daytime running light dedicated circuit. So we try not to do that if you can avoid it. So if you have this kind of a circuit on a Toyota, even for instance, you're going to have like say a green wire feeding it. You're going to have a pink wire that goes between the two, and you're going to have the white with black stripe, typical Toyota ground wire there. So that's kind of easy to identify. And yeah, if you're in that kind of a configuration, just put the M2s in there. They're going to work perfectly, and it's a simple solution. So the next thing is, what if these are high beams that turn into daytime running lights? So in that case, this is like the computer, and it outputs 12 volts when you're in brights, but in daytime running lights, it only outputs 6 volts. So how do we deal with that? Let me show you that right now. These guys are still absolutely a good solution for that, the M2 bulbs, right? Because these will run on 12 volts and they'll run on 6 volts, okay? So if I hook this up and I output it in 12 volts, very, very bright, okay? Now, if I go down to 6 volts, not as bright. Nice daytime running light output, okay? So these will work fine. There's a couple of instances where these won't work, and we have seen in the Toyota RAV4, for instance, 2010-ish, these are 12 volts with the brights, and then they switch to 6 volts during daytime running lights, but one of them actually flips the polarity, which means that these will not work in that situation. So I'm going to give you another possibility. And the other reason why you might not want to do this in that situation is because you're limited to the M2 brightness. Some people just want it a little more bright. Maybe they want to run an L3, L4, L5, okay? So in that situation, you're going to want to disable the daytime running lights, which you can usually do either with a programmer. You can do it through the stereo system. Sometimes on the screen you can disable them. Sometimes it's as easy as pulling a relay out. You can call me at the tech support line, and I can definitely help you with that. So what you would do is you would disable the daytime running lights. Then you can put, say, a L5 in there, because this will run on 12 volts with the brights. You no longer have the 6 volts coming in because you've disabled it, right? But the customer still wants daytime running lights. So what you'll do is you will put in a switchback. Now what this does is this is going to basically be a white output during regular operation. And so you're gonna have a nice white light. And these are gonna be in your corner lights usually. I have a Toyota and it's kind of on the side, and I actually do run this method myself. So while you're driving, anytime the ignition's on, you're gonna have this white light. And then when you hit your blinkers, you're gonna have an amber light output like that. So that's gonna be your blinker. And then your daytime running light is just gonna be that clean white. So anytime your ignition's on, you're gonna have the clean white. You're basically taking the daytime running light function out of your brights housing, and you're moving it over to your marker light housing. So that's a very good option. A lot of Subarus are good for this as well. So mostly you're gonna see this on a Toyota or Subaru kind of application. And again, I'm gonna have my tech support information up at the end of this video, as I usually do. You can call me, text me, email me anytime. If you have any questions about daytime running lights or what configuration that you wanna run, and then pros and cons of each one. My very last bit of info is, if you're not sure how to do this, if you're an end user, if you're just looking at buying bulbs for your personal car and you're not a technician, either pick up a multimeter like this so that you can verify, because there are some cars where the polarity flips, and there are some cars, like I said, there are 12 volts with brights and 6 volts with daytime running lights. If you're ever unsure, we have a dealer locator. You can call me again, and I can help you find a local dealer to you, or you can go to lucas-lighting.com/dealer-locator/. That's our dealer locator. Also, if you go to our website, our dealer locator is right there on the page. And then if you're looking for that switchback option, sometimes you'll look up a bulb like a 7443, and it will actually say SB on the end of it. And then on our box, it will actually say switchback. So a lot of these are, 7443. We make them in 3157. We make these in a few different sizes. And they're either going to be like an A for amber, W. They're going to be a standard model number, but you're looking for the SB for that switchback if you want to do it in that method. Thanks for watching, guys.